yan. But make no mistake, perhaps the best way to explain what's happening right now, or perhaps the best analogy for that, is a Game of Thrones Philippine edition. In many ways, ang nakikita natin ngayon ay isang labanan sa pagitan ng isang House of Stark version natin, the powerful people from Solid North, versus isang Lannister version natin perhaps, or Baratheon, depending on how you want to look at it, galing naman sa Solid South. Etong dalawang pamilya, these two houses of Marcos and Duterte, have been dominant in Philippine politics for quite some time. And there was an expectation that after the crystallization of unity in last year's elections, eto na, the two will rule or co-rule or power share for the foreseeable future. At mukhang yung opposition ay hopeless case. But what happened here is very interesting. Paradoxically, kung kailan mahina ang opposition, questions about what's going to happen with the opposition, with Leni Robredo essentially retiring into civil society work. In fact, well, she deserved that. She worked very hard during the last year's elections despite all obstacles and difficulties and harassment throughout the years. Now, there were, of course, big questions about the future of the opposition after the 2020 elections, and not to mention yung notorious factionalism among progressive opposition in the Philippines. Now, just when the opposition was seemingly at its weakest, that's where a power struggle breaks out between the House of Duterte and House of Marcos. Now, initially, it was proxies, or it was the former president criticizing, sometimes even personally, the current president and his successor. But the reality here is that things are beginning to change, because for the very first time we saw Sara Duterte right now openly challenging the President of the Republic. And this is over a very sensitive issue. This is the peace process negotiations with the communist rebels. Now, what this tells you is that perhaps what could be in the work is not necessarily civil war, but the Solid South and the Solid North heading into very tough elections. But I'm not sure how competitive in 2025. The question right now, of course, is what is the progressive or the real opposition going to do as these two giants and titans of Philippine politics duke it out? On that note, thank you very much, everyone, and let's catch up soon with more analysis of the latest plot twists in Philippine political drama.